Hello students, today we will be studying the last chapter of the first unit, that is the reproductive health. So in previous classes you have studied sexual reproduction, flowering plants and human reproduction. So reproductive health, it's related to human reproduction. It's not like simply reproducing. So the new offsprings, it leads to overpopulation. So overpopulation leads to lot of problems. So in order to get the awareness regarding the reproduction, this reproductive health, some problems and strategies have been discussed in this chapter. So if you students will know about this reproduction, as educated, you can educate other peoples also. In that way, to promote this, they have been included in your syllabus, reproductive health. Let us see from how it has been evolved. Before, how much population was there in country, later on how it has been exploded, what problems has it led to. So there will be 2 sessions in this chapter. In the late 1940s and 1950s, they were decisive years for India. Though India was independent during those time, and all were they busy with new policies and all, right? So when they were doing these policies, they also focused on the reproductive health of the people, for the well-being of the people, including the physical and emotional, behavioral and social. So later these policies, they led to the Family Planning Association of India in 1949. In 1951, the government, they launched a series of action programs and plans called family planning. This move catapulted India into a select group of countries that are talked about National Family Planning Program. So later in 1997, the government initiated the Reproductive Health and Child Healthcare Programs, which focused on creating the spreading awareness about people's reproduction, which related aspects such as contraception, infertility, as well as providing the supporting facilities. So today the government along with the family planning experts is continuously talking about the strategies to address the reproductive health of the people. So people in rural India, still they do not have this education, that is they don't have the health education about the sex. Hence government and non-governmental agencies, they have come together to educate them. So experts associated with family planning also have realized that today's youngsters, they depend on the internet, including movies or like friends and magazines, to learn about sex related aspects. But this information gathered from the sources may or may not be reliable, or moreover at times the information, they can create myths, or they might mislead, which might lead to unhealthy attitudes. So hence this there is sex education in schools, so that our youngsters will be educated and they'll be having more information. So moreover, it will also make youngsters aware of social evils like sex abuse and sex related crimes. So and the steps which they need to take to fight against such social evils. Experts also believe that people, especially adolescents, these youngsters, they are sensitized to hygienic sexual practices such as cleaning one's genital, sexually transmitted diseases, AIDS, adolescence, and mental and bodily changes. So which in turn will ensure the healthy society. So another strategy is to improve reproductive health is educating the couples as well as individuals of managing age, birth control options, gender equality, pre and post pregnancy care, child care, and breastfeeding. So such education they will also decrease maternal as well as infant mortality rates and limit the size of families. So government has created some strategic plan for 2005 to 2009 that had 5 action areas. So they are access, advocacy, adolescence, AIDS, and abortion. So providing expert medical care and assistance to people on wide-ranging issues including pregnancy and deliveries, sex-transmitted diseases, abortions, menstrual problems, and infertility is then another step taken by the government. So moreover, the government has also set up research centers that aim to find solutions to reproduction health related problems. One such center is Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, which is credited for developing Saheli and oral contraceptive for women. So apart from these research centers, the government has also established some hospitals and medical centers, especially in the rural areas, that is in village areas, to provide an impetus and medical assisted deliveries as well as provide postnatal medical care. This will help to bring down maternal and infant mortality rates, which will encourage to have smaller families. Even government is also giving some special programs in the media. Government has banned this amniocentesis. So what is amniocentesis? It is the fetal sex determination test. So based on the chromosomal pattern in which amniotic fluid are extracted and they are surrounding by the developing embryo, it is drawn by inserting a needle in the mother's abdomen. So in this manner, the government it has initiated a lot of programs and plans to build up a reproductively healthy. So at the time of independence, India was an underdeveloped country. So we had lot of population and there was no good access for the good medical care. So during that time, life expectancy was only 32 years and infant mortality rate was 180 per thousand births. So, however, living conditions in India also later on improved and government built some hospitals and people were educated and they conduct immunization programs. So these steps they nearly doubled the life expectancy rate and lowered the infant and maternal mortality rate. But with birth rates they remain the same. So this led to the population explosion. The situation, the population of country was far more, and the sustaining capacity, in fact, India's population, which was 350 million during 1947, that is during independence. Later on in 2000, it was 1 billion. India became the second most populated country after China. So demographers they say that now current the birth rate is 1.7%. Is if it is not lowered, India's natural economic resources will be strained, will become less. Many people will not have basic necessities like food, clothing, shelter. So there will be a lot of competition. No, then what happens? There will be no food or anything. So to stop this, government it has laid rule that is for girls it is 18 years for marriage, for boys it is 21 years. So government is also using the media to drive home the benefits of having smaller families. More government agencies are also actively encouraging couples to go for contraception, which is intentional in prevention of the unwanted pregnancy. Through the use of contraceptive methods, so they are of categorized into natural methods or traditional methods. Second one is barrier methods. Third one is the intrauterine devices. Fourth, oral contraceptives. Next, injectables, implants, and surgical methods. Natural methods, it's an oldest form of contraception. They work on the principle of stopping the chances of sperm entering and fertilizing the ovum. So there are of three types: periodic abstinence, coitus interrupts, lactational amenorrhea. It's happening naturally. So in periodic abstinence, so couples should not undergo copulation during the fertile period. So that is in the menstrual cycles within 10 to 17 days, the menstrual cycle. So because during the 10 to 17 day ovulation will occur, no, where the release of egg occurs. So that will lead to the chance of conception. So if you stop in that time, so there will be no problem. Now coitus abstinence, you have to withdraw the penis from the vagina. So when the semen is about to release, the penis has to be withdrawn out of the vagina so that semen doesn't end. Next one is the lactation amenorrhea, or the absence of menstruation during lactation. That is after delivering the baby, it is a lactation period. So during this lactation period, there is no menstrual cycle. So nearly up to 6 months, there will be no menstruation. So during that time, if there is mainly this hormone oxytocin, which will stimulate the milk production, they will suppress the ovulation. So there will be no menstrual cycle. So naturally there will be no egg is produced. So ovulation conception cannot occur. So lactation amenorrhea as well as other natural methods of contraception, they are safe and they do not have any side effects because it's taking up naturally, not inserting anything. So no medicines or devices will be involved. So however, natural methods, they are very effective compared to other contraceptive methods such as the barrier method. So these methods they make use of either condom, diaphragm or cervical or volt caps. So which acts as barriers to prevent the sperm and ovum from meeting. So condoms, which are available for both men and women, are made of thin rubber or latex sheath. So while condoms, for males, are rolled over the penis, but condoms for women, they are inserted in the vagina, where they block the sperm entry into the reproductive tract by covering the cervix. So most couples they prefer using condoms since they are cheap, easily available, and offer privacy as they can be self-inserted. Moreover, condoms also offer protection against sexually transmitted diseases such as AIDS and syphilis. So condoms, however, they can be used only once, and every new coitus section requires the use of new condom. While the condoms are available for both men and women, diaphragms and cervical vault caps are only meant for women. These are having door-shaped barriers which are made of rubber and are inserted in the vagina. You can see them there. This contraceptive efficiency of barrier they can be increased by applying the spermicidal creams or jellies and foams. So what is this jellies do? Because these products they'll be containing some chemicals which will kill the sperm. Another contraceptive method is intrauterine devices, commonly called IUDs. These are used by couples who want to delay pregnancy or they want the gap from one child to another child. So these are tiny T-shaped devices which doctors insert into the uterus through the vagina. So there are many types of IUDs, which is ranging from non-medicated IUDs such as lifeless loop to copper releasing IUDs like copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375 to hormone releasing IUDs such as progesterone and LNG20. Each type of IUD they work on different principle. So now non-medicated IUDs they work by increasing the phagocytosis of the sperm that reach the uterus. While copper IUDs they will release the copper ions which will obstruct the entry of sperm into the fallopian tubes as well as reduce the fertilizing ability. So on the other hand, the hormone releasing IUDs which make the uterus inhospitable for implantation. That is by thickening the cervical mucus which makes it possible for the sperm to enter through the cervix. So apart from IUDs, women they can also use this oral contraceptives, that is the pill. This is a small tablet. Okay, they contain the small doses either of progesterone or the combination of progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone they thicken the cervical mucus which will hinder the sperm's motility. Which will not. Whereas estrogen what that does? They will stop the pituitary gland from producing luteinizing hormone which prevents the ovulation so that ovulation doesn't take place. So ideally the women should take the first pill of the pack within 5 days of the menstrual cycle and continue taking it for 21 days. So during the next 7 days, when the pill is not taken, the women will experience a menstrual cycle. So following this, she needs to start taking the pill again. So progesterone alone or with the combination of estrogen are also there available injections or implants that are to be placed under the skin. So in comparison to pills, they remain effective much longer. While women are having more contraceptive options, whereas men have only two options for birth control, condoms and a terminal surgical or sterilization method called vasectomy. So in vasectomy, the tiny part of the vas deferens is removed and then tied to the scrotum by bearing a small incision on the same. So there will be a small cut. In tubectomy, the sterilization method for women, the minuscule part of the fallopian tube is removed and tied up through small incision in the vagina, through the abdomen or the vagina. Both tubectomy and vasectomy are successful methods of birth control, but they are irreversible. And it should be only adopted if the couple wishes to have no more children. Means it cannot be repaired again. So in addition to surgical methods, couples today have several other contraceptive methods to choose from. So however, before opting any particular method, one should consult the doctor's advice, as some contraceptive methods can cause side effects such as abdominal pain and irregular menstrual bleeding. So today I have studied about the oral contraceptive methods, the main how we can control the population. So mainly these methods like tubectomy, vasectomy, and all the contraceptive methods. This has to be educated in the present generation. Only then you can get the population to the control. So these are the important questions. What is RCH? So what is this RCH? Reproductive and Child Healthcare Program. And what are their goals? Their goals is nothing but creating awareness among people and to bring reproductive related aspects and providing the facilities. So these are the goals. And what is amino synthesis? That is very important. It's nothing but the fetal sex determination based on the chromosomal pattern in amniotic fluid during the developing embryo. And third one, name the male and female sterilization techniques in humans. Fourth one, what is vasectomy and tubectomy? Fifth one, explain natural and barrier methods. Natural methods there are 3 types and barrier methods there are 2 types. You have to explain both also. So any doubts? Can ask. Thank you.